I stared down at the D20, tears welling in my eyes. 20. The fourth one I'd rolled. Ishan and Kayla stared at me. Their eyes were wide, filled with fear. I opened my mouth to say something, but I couldn't. Saying it would make it real. And I couldn't. It could just be a coincidence. Kayla cut in. Yeah, just last week I got 2 8s in a row, Ishan said with a nervous laugh. But we all knew what was really happening. I'd gotten lucky. And in this town, getting lucky means you're going to die. Corey Eisenberg was a physics major who lived in an off-campus apartment just about a block away from us. Last year, only weeks from graduating, he died in an accident. His death could have been plucked right out of a Final Destination movie. On a bright Monday morning in April, he took the elevator downstairs. Unbeknownst to him, a rat had chewed through the elevator cable that night. As soon as he stepped inside, it would snap. That's not even what killed him though. Not even close. He only lived on the 2nd floor. The impact wasn't all that bad. In fact, he was able to press the help button, call the fire department, and calmly tell them that he needed rescue. They dispatched someone, and everything seemed like it would be fine. But, apparently, on the way down, the cable whipped around inside the shaft and got wrapped around a pipe. When the firemen got there, a rather heavy-set one stepped on top of the elevator. It rocked back and forth, pulling the cable taut. It started spraying water. Now, I know what you're thinking. Water meets a live wire, and crack, he's gone. But no, the electrical wiring was well insulated. What happened was that, at that very moment, the fireman started axing through the top of the elevator, and his axe got stuck. But he'd made a hole, and the water pouring from the pipe dislodged by the elevator cable and chewed by the rat began to leak into the elevator. Drip, drip, drip. The fireman tried to retrieve the axe, but it was completely stuck. One of the firewomen tried to pry the ceiling off the elevator, but it was sealed very, very well. In fact, the whole thing was sealed extremely well. So well, none of the water leaking in could leak out. Corey Eisenberg drowned to death inside an elevator. His death came at the end of an incredible stroke of good luck. I remember reading the headlines in the university paper, how he'd won 10 grand playing the slots in Atlantic City. There were other things too, like the time he ran into a tech CEO at Starbucks and ended up getting a job offer. Never would have been there at the right time if his shower hadn't broken earlier that morning. But his good luck wasn't always so obvious. It started small, very small, like the balance in his checking account being 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or breaking the wishbone of a chicken exactly in 2, or the random number generator in a line of code popping out 3 100s in a row, or rolling a die and getting a natural 20 every time. I stared at my reflection. My phone read 2 a.m. in big fat letters, but I couldn't sleep. Corey's death pounded through my mind. His look of terror as the water rose, slamming his fist against the wall of the elevator, screaming for the help that was right on the other side. But he didn't have a chance. Fate, luck, chance, whatever you call it, had already marked him to die. Is that what's going to happen to me? Corey wasn't the only one. There were several other bizarre deaths like this one spanning across a few decades. In the 90s, Lita Montgomery burned to death after tripping over a jack-o'-lantern. She had tripled her wealth at the horse races a week before. In the 2000s, Jen Lu was attacked by a rabid squirrel while on a hike with her family. She just inherited the entire family business after her brother announced he'd be moving to England with his fiancée, who he had met in a chance meeting. But they might all just be tall tales. None of these details were public. They were passed down from the townspeople, from generation to generation. Even with Corey, from news articles I knew he'd died, and that he'd won at the slots. But all the other stuff about wishbones and code was hearsay. Even the details of him drowning in the elevator weren't public. As Sean told me that, I shook my head and turned the water on. splashed some water on my face. It's just a ghost story, I thought, rubbing the water on my face. And I'm going to be 20 next month. Aren't I a little too old for ghost stories? I reached for the towel to dry my face. My arm whacked against my phone. It fell onto the tile with a sickening crack. Damn it, I shouted, diving for it. I snatched it off the floor, praying the screen wasn't cracked. My heart stopped. The screen was cracked, but it was cracked perfectly. One solid line in the glass, running vertically from the top to the bottom, not a single split or fracture. Cold sweat broke out on my arms. I set the phone down, my hand shaking. I don't know what's going to happen to me. I don't know if I have months or years or just days. I don't know if the legend in my town is just a tall tale, snowballing with each generation, as it's told around smoldering campfires on cold autumn nights. But I don't like my chances.